Hello, it's Heather here with Creative Faith Art Studio, and today I'm going to work a little bit in my prayer journal. I haven't been in here in a while, and so I'm just going to take a little time and just do a little exploring and try to be a little creative. I start out by finding my page, and then I take some of the sewing pattern tissue, and I'm just going to glue that down. I have something I wrote on this page. I was actually on a label and it was on a different page, but I didn't want it on the other page, and so I put it on this page a long time ago, and it looks a little dark on the or bright, I guess is the word I'm looking for, on the page. So I decided to cover it up with the sewing pattern paper, and I go all the way down the little envelope flap that I have kind of off the bottom of the page, and then just rip off the excess. And then I have a scrap of fabric that's been sitting on my table for a while, and I really like this fabric. It's one of my favorites. I don't have very much of it. I used it in a journal when I was making some journals the other day, and I just had a little bit of remnant left and I didn't want to throw it away, so I decided to make a little collage with the paper, or the fabric rather, on this page to decorate it a little bit. And then once I get all that fabric onto the page and glued down the way I'd like it to, I noticed it's really hard to glue onto that tracing paper that's in there. It just doesn't want to stick. And then I have a thing with hard edges in my collages, so I take more of the pattern paper and I cover up that hard edge on the dark blue fabric there. And I like the way the writing shows through that tissue paper, so I was pretty happy with that. And then I set that aside to dry and start working on a little tag. I decided to use this old mail envelope that I had sitting down on my desk, and I'm going to just make it into a tag. So I cut it to try to even up the sides a little bit, and I flip it around, and then I use that pattern as the outside of the tag. And then I add some things to kind of cover that up. It wasn't so much that I wanted the pattern to show. I mean, originally I kind of thought it would, but you know how things go when you just start adding stuff. It just kind of, everything changes really quickly. And I distress it because I really actually had an idea that I was gonna do, but then, like I said, I just changed my mind. So here I have a doily that I found, and a coaster, actually. It's a paper coaster I found at the thrift store. And so I carefully peel off one of the layer of the bird, and I save the other side, obviously, because I would like to use it on something else. And then I'm just trying to figure out where I want to place the doily and the bird, and how I kind of want to put that together. So doily goes on first, and then the bird goes on over the doily. and then I trim off the excess off of the tag. So now I get an index card so I can write my Bible verse on the tag. And I really like the way that turned out right here. Like I kind of wish I would have left it like that, but I'm kind of happy with the way it turned out too. So, but I wish I would have made two. I know if anybody of you have watched my videos, then you'll know I always say that. So I just put on the index card, and then so I can write the Bible verse on there, and then as I did with the other side, I trim off the excess. And I think I distress it a little bit too. And then once I'm done using the Tim Holtz Distress ink, then I go ahead and write my Bible verse. So for Christmas last year, I received a subscription to Somerset Studio magazine, and they always have these amazing artists that do mixed media work. I think I got the Art Journaling magazine, Somerset Studio, and then there were some old editions that I purchased also because I got a coupon. Once my family bought me the membership for the year, then I got I got like a free gift coupon or whatever, so I bought a couple random magazines. But anyway, so they always have these different techniques to try and different styles that artists work in, and so I wanted to see if I could do something similar. So, and I can't remember the artist's name, but she does these really pretty people that don't have much expression, and everything's very white. Like it's a very light and muted tone artwork. So I kind of wanted to see if I could do something similar. And so I used my Posca pens, and I'm just using a Uniball black pen to draw on the page. And you can't see here, but when I added the pink for her cheeks and chin, then it was really bright. Like it's really bright in person. So I really wanted to tone that down some. So I keep adding more and more of the white Posca pen over everything. And then I want it to have, again, I want some of those same muted tones in the background and in the illustration. So I add a little bit of light blue and a little bit of kind of a orange yellow, and then I start drawing some lines back in. My pens are all because I was writing on wet paint. Don't do that, by the way. My pens are starting to get all gummed up, so I write on my hand a lot, if you haven't noticed. So now that I've made the tag and kind of have it the way I would like it, or think I would like it, I go to put it back in the journal, then this page looks too dark compared to the tag. So then I decide to whiten up the background on this page and draw some of the same elements that I put on the tag on this page. And I do like the way it turned out. I think this is kind of fun, and it was kind of fun to do too. So I really wanted to use that envelope that was on that page, because I liked the way it was one of the envelopes that I tea dyed, and it just liked the way it opened. I ended up cutting off the bottom flap and gluing the other flap down. But so I also grabbed my oil-based gold Sharpie the paint pen, and then I add some little gold sparkle to the tag and to the page. Just trying to get everything to kind of work together. And I like the way, one of the things I really liked was the way the Posca pen covered some of the other lines. So, like you could draw on something, like draw something in, and then you could tone down the thickness of the lines and get kind of a neat effect. So I'll show you where I did that here. And I draw in, again, trying to bring in elements from tag onto the page. I draw in the little bird. Very rough drawing of the little bird, I might add. But, you know, using the lighter blue and the bright blue and then a little bit of green over the top, and the colors blended together pretty well even on the paper. And then I use a black Sharpie to darken some edges up and to add some of those little berries and see, this is where, like, I take the white Posca pen and I cover up some of the lines, and I just really like the way that looks. And I redraw in some of my gold leaves and berries. And then I realize I don't want to use that flap anymore, so I glue that one down. And then I cut that bottom flap off. And I kind of like the way that the little person, the little face peeks through that tracing paper. So I decide to, I use a paper clip here, but in the end I actually staple the tag, because those paper clips aren't that sturdy. They don't really actually hold anything on the page. I mean, they do, but it has to be pretty thick. And on the tracing paper, it just was not holding the tag on. So that's my prayer journal entry for today. I appreciate you taking the time to watch this video. If you liked it, please give me a thumbs up. and I will see you next time. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.